Hello, everyone. Welcome to the club. I'm Philip Landers.
And I am your co-host, Ian Sanders. I am obviously not Caden Burrow. Yeah, he had a little assignment to do before the show, so he unfortunately couldn't be here. So this episode, you're going to have to deal with me.
All right, so we can't tell you what his assignment is because if we did, then he would be a secret agent.
Yes.
It's classified.
Mm-hmm.
We want to get you caught up once again this week on all of our sport teams and how everyone is doing. Ian, let's get started with our football team. What's the latest on our Cavemen?
All right, latest on the Caveman. So the Caveman unfortunately lost home opener in a close match against Melbourne by a single score. The final score was 24-17, with Melbourne emerging on top. Really close game, in my opinion.
Late fumble. Melbourne just grabbed it out of a guy's hands, ran it back in, and that really was the margin.
Mm-hmm. But still, really close
right there,
game.
yeah.
I was there. It was really good. And following that, Cave City also had a follow-up with a home loss to Camden Harmony Grove on Friday, September 15th. The final score was 42-14. Not as hot as they went with Melbourne.
They were some of the fastest players we'll see all year with Camden Harmony Grove, and just big plays was the story of the game for them.
They're no joke.
Okay. Let's get you caught up on our golf highlights. The boys and girls golf team, just this week, we're in the district tournament up at Cooper's Hawk Golf Course in Melbourne, the 3A District 2. The boys finished 4th out of 10. They had a combined low score of 278 strokes. They finished right behind third place Harding Academy, who tallied 271 shots, and Salem was in 5th behind our Cavemen with 284 strokes. Melbourne was the district champions with a combined low golf shot total of 240. A little home course, comfortable setting there for Melbourne.
Okay. Honestly, I don't know much about golf, but just those points, just emerging from how they did on the court, it sounds pretty big. Sounds pretty important.
Well, that's your 4 players, and they played what would that be, 9 holes, I think, apiece.
Sounds about right.
This was 18 holes for district. So for the individuals, Wyatt Edwards punched his way to the state golf tournament. He shot a score of 84 on 18 holes. That's pretty good. Rhett King was second with 91. Joey Summers and Caleb Cates both came out with 102 and 132 shots respectively. So Wyatt will play in the state tournament coming up at the same course, Cooper's Hawk in Melbourne. Nice to be really close. You don't have to worry about travel and all of that.
Oh yeah. It would burn me out to have to, I guess, I'm not a big traveler, but It would really burn me out if it got to that point.
That would be, it's fun when you go and stay in a hotel for a state tournament, but at the same time, you're not going to sleep as well. And so our kids will get to sleep in their home bed for state tournament for Wyatt Edwards. And also Jessie Stauffer will tell you that she fired a score of 106, and she also went to state tournament last year in golf, and so she'll get to go back this year. Dream Morrow was 1 shot behind at 107. Alyssa Brown shot of 120. Mackenzie Moody fired 142 strokes. She just got more for her money.
I'm not messing with them.
Yeah, so she got to golf more than the others, didn't she?
Mm-hmm.
The Cave women finished 4th in district play with a combined score of 333 shots. Harding came in at 3rd, just ahead. Tuckerman just behind. And Salem was the women's district champion as they had a low score of 283 strokes in district tournament. So best of luck to Jessie Stauffer and Wyatt Edwards next week in the state tournament.
Mm-hmm. I bet they'll do good. For them to get where they are today, I mean, they wouldn't have gotten where they are today if they didn't have that much potential.
But for Jessie in particular, going back, the nerves I'm sure would be there, but not quite as much since she's done it before already.
She's done it before.
And Wyatt's one of the most even-keeled people you've ever met, so they're both going to do great, and we wish them the best of luck. Let's get caught up on tennis.
Tennis. Woo! Well, for tennis, we had Cave City versus Harrisburg back on Monday, September 11th. The girls ended up tying 3-3, and the boys ended up getting 2-3. Not as lucky as the girls. In the singles, we had Cambria Fowler with a 6-1. Allie Crockett ended up getting a 7-6, and also a 7-2. Liam Smith, 7-5. Really good. With the doubles, we had Molly Walker and Rachel Rachel Ballard with a 6-1. Braxton Trago and Newt Carraway with a 6-4. And also really close matches, we had Ithaca Bacon and Jocelyn Nail with a 6-7 and a 9-11. Really, really close scores.
Yeah, that's your tie-break game to break the 6-game tie. So it was 6-all. So they played that 13th game. That's a full maximum set. And your final score there, 11-9 in the tiebreak. And by the way, they call their own points in high school tennis. And so let's hope we didn't have any close calls. And what they will do is simply agree to replay a point when there's a strong disconnect. And often your coaches are there close to. And that's how you settle it. And it brings sportsmanship to the front. We like that. Let's talk about when they played Clinton recently.
Oh, yeah. K-City played Clinton on Tuesday, September 12th. Starting off with the singles, we had Kimria Fowler once again 6-1. Then going directly to the doubles, we had Elijah Beller and Hayden Hemden with the 6-1. Braxton Trago and Newt Carraway with a 6-4. Ithaca Bacon and Jocelyn Nail with a 6-2. Jocelyn Nail and Micah Darnell with 7-5. And also another really close match, we had Beller and Herndon with a 6-7 and a 4-7 tiebreak. Once again, really, really close games.
Yeah, and those two young men are ninth graders, so competitive situation by them, just getting the taste for that high school tennis, and we're going to see those two guys tear it up the next 3 years in doubles. They're just going to get better and better.
Yeah, if they're like this already, just imagine what they're going to be like when they're seniors.
Yeah, so we had more tennis too, right? We played a joint, one of those joint matches.
Oh yes, good point. Okay. Good point. Yes, K-City versus Southside and Wynn took place on Monday, September 18th. When we went up against Southside in our singles, we had Allie Crockett with a 6-1. Really, really impressive. We have, in our doubles matches, we have Elijah Beller and Hayden Herndon with a 6-3. Molly Walker and Joel Ballard with a 6-2 and a 6-0. Michael Darnell and Britney Mahan with also a 6-2. And going to win with our singles, we have Kimria Fowler with the 6-0.
Most of these scores are actually not close. We've had a few, like our Braxton Trago Newt Carraway game that you're about to talk about, came down to a very close tiebreak, but most of these we're winning handily.
Yeah, Braxton Trago and Newt Carraway ended up getting a 7-6 and a 7-3. And the next match will be in the next match, Tuesday, September 19th. It will be home versus Cedar Ridge.
Let's talk about cross country for just a moment. Our cross country team went down to the Batesville Invitational, and all the cavemen and cavewomen who participated there had either a season best or career best mark on their times down there. On the junior girls side, Aubrey Milligan led the cavewomen with a second place finish and a school record time of 10 minutes 7 seconds on the mile-and-a-half course. Aubrey broke the school record in 2022, which used to stand at 10 minutes and 10 seconds. Following close behind Aubrey Milligan were teammates Casey Arnold and Hadley Landers. They placed 7th and 11th overall. They ran a time of 10 minutes 40 seconds and 10 minutes 55 seconds, respectively. I can't even think about running for 10 minutes, much less actually do it.
I used to be a cross-country runner, and it's tough. It can be tough at times.
Yeah, no doubt. So those two girls are right behind. Casey and Hadley's times were career best for both, and it was good enough for them to earn the way into the top 10 all-time fastest mile-and-a-half marks set by our junior cave women. Let's talk about our senior high for a moment. Britney Mahan, who we're going to visit with when she slides into the hot seat here in just a moment, led the race at Batesville Sulphur Rock course for the first half mile before being overtaken by Mountain Home's Aaron Smith. Smith had a 100-yard lead on Mahan going into the last mile before Mahan narrowed the gap going into the final kick. Britney outkicked Smith in the final 5 meters, which is about 15 feet, you guys know, of the 5,000-meter race to win the meet with a time of 21 minutes, 54 seconds, beating the Mountain Home Bomber by 1.5 seconds. That's what one more spoon of Cheerios gets you before a race. Yeah. Cave City Cross Country was idle this past week as they prep for their next race at Old Davisonville State Park on Tuesday, September 26th. let's get everybody caught up on volleyball now, Ian.
Oh, volleyball. I love volleyball.
Yeah,
Out of
me
all
too.
the sports, I think volleyball is probably my best. Volleyball played 7 games in the past 2-week stretch. The Cave women won and swept their first conference game on Monday, September 18th versus Bald Knob. 3-0 to improve to 2 wins on the season. We got to give it up to our Cave women. They are some very strong young ladies. For them,
Well, and a little bit of a rebuilding, if you want to use that word, for high school. And so got a lot of young players playing. And I know they felt good coming out of the Cave Women Classic, which they played this past Saturday. You've got some notes on that.
Yes. Volleyball also hosted and played in the Cave Women Classic, which is their annual volleyball tournament on Saturday, September 16th. On Saturday, the Cave Women competed in both pool and tournament play. The tournament did the best of 3 sets on Saturday. In pool play, the Cave Women split a game with Harding Academy 1-1 and beat Richfield Christian 2-0. In tournament play, the Cave Women beat Hoxie 2-1, but lost to Quitman 2-0 in the semifinals. They would up finishing 4th in the tournament.
Yeah, it's a good weekend for them, and they were feeling really good about themselves, and they should. And they've just got a few weeks left, and they hit that marathon stretch of their season where they're playing 3 nights a week and sometimes 2 on the road. And for senior high especially, you get there early and you have to wait a while, and you just got to be ready to play. So that's got us caught up to date on our sports program. We're going to take a short break, and then when we come back, cross-country coach Brandon Haling and Britney Mahan, our junior runner, will be sliding into the hot seat. We'll have that in just a moment here. You're watching The Club.
Cable Channel 6 is here for you. Here are all the services that we offer to you. Let's start simple. We offer community access slideshows which last all day long. We create and air your business commercials. We offer filming and editing services for a fee. We are also seeking football and basketball sponsors for live casts. If any of these offers interest you, please call the Caveman Radio TV hotline at 283-3309. We are Cable Channel 6, and we cover everything that is Caveman.
All right, welcome back to The Club. Sitting in the hot seat this week, we're happy to have our cross-country and track head coach Brandon Haley, and we have Britney Mahan. She is a junior. She is John's sister and Brandon's sister, right?
Yeah.
So does that make you the good-looking Mahan kid or the smart Mahan kid?
Smart one.
You're the smart one, okay.
Smart one.
All right, we'll poll the other 2 boys and see how they answer that question. We'll let you folks know. Hey, thanks for slipping into the hot seat this week, you guys.
Hey, thanks for having us.
We're going to talk cross-country today, and our season's in full swing right now. Talk about how you feel about your program this year, Coach.
Well, we have a smaller crew than we're used to having this year. We're kind of in a rebuild season. But that's, some people say rebuild and they think negative things, but I think that's a good, kickoff point. It's a good way to refocus. We're trying to redefine the culture. What does it mean to be at Cave City Cross Country? And so we're really focusing on positivity and, what does it mean to be in cross country? And we've got a lot of young kids that are really picking up on that. We're trying to have a lot of fun. Our 2 goals this year are, we want to make running fun, and we want to make it, when it's time to take it serious, we want to take it serious. So we have a bunch of kids that are really responding to all that, especially on the girls' side. Not that I want to get too far into it, but yeah, we just have a lot of really good runners. Good and ready to go.
Excellent. Let's talk about our most recent meet. We had one in Batesville. Tell us about that.
Batesville meet went extremely well. So we had, I'll start with the girls. All 4 of our girls placed in the top 15. Our junior girls, Aubrey Milligan came in second. Then right behind her was teammates Casey Arnold and Hadley Landers. And Hadley Landers is a newcomer. And all 3 of those guys ended up breaking their way into the record book in that race. They're all now top 10 fastest times ever run by Cavewoman. And then Brittany here had her first ever cross-country career race win this past week. Here at Batesville. So she's won a couple of track races. She's defending indoor state 2-mile champion, but it was a little different on the cross-country course. It's a little bit more challenging cross-country-wise than it is track, I think. On the boys' side, all of our boys PR'd, had great races. So we're really proud of our athletes from this past week.
All right, well, Brittany, let's talk just a little bit about that win. So you've had success on the spring sport, right, the track, but cross country is very different. The course is, I guess, a little bit uneven. It's up and down. How do you pace yourself through one of those?
Well, Coach Haling, he gives me splits, and I try to stick to my splits. And if I stick to my splits, then I know I'm on track for a good PR, and with a good PR, I can place well. And so that was the goal Tuesday. And
what is PR?
A PR is a personal record, so it's like your career
Okay.
best. That's like what every runner's trying to get every time they step on the course. You'll see a lot of that. You'll hey, did you get PR today?
Okay.
All that kind of stuff. Sometimes there'll be teams that bring bells. If you hear bells going off at camps, it means a PR just happened. They'll have PR bells. You ring the bell,
Okay.
you get PR and stuff.
Yeah. So all the bass fishermen out there, you're going to call it your personal best or PB,
Yeah.
right? So
Yep.
the next time I go bass fishing, I'll just take a bell maybe. And if I
You
catch
start
a big
ringing
one,
it. Yeah, there you go.
I'll ring that bell. So now you had a close finish. You had to come from behind. How far were you from the finish line when you took the lead, and what was that experience like, catching up and passing someone in the last moment?
well, when I was 200 meters away, he was like pretty far ahead of me. Coach Haling, he was like, I'm going to sprint. And then I felt like I was sprinting. And so that was really difficult. And I sprinted harder, and then I felt like I was dying. But at the last, 10 meters, I passed her finally, and I got first. She was second for me.
And so what that brings to mind, and I myself have not made it out to one of these meets, this track is outside, it's outdoors, you're running, I get through the woods really here, but the track is, it's a loop.
Yes.
So talk about how you put yourself in position to coach these players who are spread out through this loop, how long the course is, how many laps do they take? Tell us about that experience for you.
Well, it's tricky because in cross country it's different than track. Mostly all the tracks are the same. They're on a football stadium. It's that oval around the football stadium. But cross country, there's no two courses that are the same. So the first thing we do when we get there, after we set up and get everybody their race stuff ready, we go and we walk the course. You got to tour every single course. And I make a big deal out about that. And it's not just for the people that have never ran that course before. I want my veterans who have done this course 5, 6, 7 times, since they were 7th graders and now are seniors, they have to walk the course. Because, you may forget about that small little bump that didn't seem like a bump last year, but then you're like, oh man, that's a little bit of an incline there. And we go through and we'll talk about it. Hey, at this point here in the race, this is where you need to pick it up, 3 quick steps. Maybe we'll kind of scout out the ending. Where do you start your kick? Where's it going to be the hardest at, where you need to dig down deep mentally? We'll actually highlight all those points on our tour. And then when we get done with our tour, we'll start doing all the warm-up stuff like a normal meet. For me personally, while I'm telling this to the kids, I'm scoping out spots. I'm like, this is where I need to be. Usually I have to get a split, so I'll be at the half mile or the mile mark to get their time. And then after that, I'm like, all right, I got to cut across the course this way. They'll have trails that usually they'll have coaches take that are cut-throughs. So I'm cutting through with fans. I've got to dodge and weave my way around fans, screaming their heads off, which is the cool thing about cross-country is the fans are just as much a participant as the coaches and the athletes are.
And you're all inside the course.
Yes, we're all right there
so
inside.
You folks who come out get inside the course. It's not, in golf we think, well, I'm going to camp out at the number 9 green and watch the players come through. In this situation, you really want to move around inside the course to see the action.
Yeah, if you're a fan, I would try scoping out the course yourself before the race starts, because if you sit and camp at one place, you're going to see the runners one time, maybe twice if you're lucky, for a brief couple of seconds, in a 20-minute race. You kind of got to get up and move to see them, because they're going to go all over the place. So, yeah, it's a moving sport, so we have to move with them.
Well, that sounds like it can be a great adventure and a lot of fun. And so for you, what are your goals for this season?
I want to hit top 10% at state and 21, or get under my PR.
21 minutes, 31 seconds. And,
yes, sir.
And how long was the course again, classical?
It's usually for senior high, it's about 5,000 meters or 3.1 miles.
Okay, and so every course is 5,000 meters, but every course is very different.
Yes. So it's all the same distance. It's all the same distance,
the
but
distance is the same. So are there parts of a course that you classically feel like you run better in than others?
I think my kick's the best part, and downhills. Those are my favorites.
Downhills. Wow, it would be me too, right? So that's when I would do my best. So for you, Coach, what were your goals for our team this year?
Really, our team goals with us having a young team, we really want to instill that run for fun mentality. We classically get the butt of the joke that we are the other sport's punishment. And my job as a coach is to kind of realign everybody's expectations that running is a positive thing. Running is one of those few sports that you get to continue doing even after high school and college. There's always a fun run 5K for somebody that has cancer awareness or something like that for your community. But we also want to stress, this sport has really good health benefits. You release a lot of stress. You can meet a lot of people during it. I've met some of my best friends and family members running on a race course. So run for fun is one of our goals. But our other goal is that discipline part, taking it seriously when it needs to be taken seriously. So we try to get our racers' minds off the fact that they're having to haul through a lot of pain in a race. We joke, we laugh, we do things. We give them popsicles all the time at practice and stuff. But when it's time to focus and it's a hill workout and you don't want to run up that hill, hey, let's take it seriously. Let's get up this hill. Let's pass somebody, because ultimately we're trying to teach them how to be successful. And sports isn't just a success in competition. Eventually, you got to learn how to push past it in life too, and that's where I think cross country shines the most. I've always said life is kind of a race metaphor. It's got its ups and downs, and sometimes you're ahead of where you think you're going to be, and sometimes you're behind. But ultimately, you're going to have to push through at some point, and that's what we're trying to teach them to do for life.
Okay, Brittany, do you have any hopes or plans to continue running competitively after high school?
I want to run in college, but I don't want to go professional or anything. Just run in college. I think that'd be really fun.
Yeah, you would just get rich, have to make commercials and be famous, and why
wants
bother,
that.
right?
Yeah.
I don't blame you. And so college experience can be a great one. And so now your younger brother Brandon runs too, right?
Yeah.
So I think we've all seen our kids out running early in the mornings. Right,
we're actually an afternoon program.
It's afternoon, so
yeah.
It's track. I've seen maybe.
I think usually in the summers we try to beat the heat by running in the morning.
That's okay. So I guess my question though for Brittany is, do you and Brandon ever run together outside of school?
Yeah, especially over the summer. We were trying to get a certain goal, and we ran quite a bit together over the summer, and that was nice.
Okay,
yeah. Little competition going on, or yeah.
Yeah. Talks a lot, yeah.
Okay, cool. She's not going to give us any more info on that, so we like that, though. That's great. And so something you can do, as Coach said. So let's talk about October the 3rd. That's still 3 weeks or so away. It's a Tuesday. It's our home meet. What do you want our viewers and listeners to know about that?
We need your support. That's really what we need. These kids need your support. This is a big deal for our program. A cross-country meet is kind of like a mini festival. When you go there, you'll see tents all from all different teams. There's vendors there. It's the meet itself is kind of like an event. The races are the main spectacle, but there's other things going on the side. We've had people selling shoes that come to meets, whether it's our meet or something like the University of Arkansas. They have shoe vendors, or they'll have snow cones will be sold there. There's all sorts of stuff going on. The races, I believe, start at 3:30. This is a big deal because we get a chance to not just showcase the sport, but our community. We'll have last year we had one of the biggest races and biggest events on campus in school history. It was we had about 2,000 people up there on our race course, which is just right adjacent to the high school in that field north of the high school. So it was kind of cool to get to see 2,000 people around, Cave City High School, that kind of thing, asking about our local businesses, that kind of stuff. So it's a big deal for the community as well.
Excellent. So best of luck to your team going forward. Best of luck to Brittany. Congratulations on the big win.
Thank you.
And she's got more cross country coming up this year, and then track in the spring, right? And that's when she really will be talking about that a lot. We'll have to have you back in the spring and see how that's going. So this is Britney Mahan, Coach Brandon Haling for cross country. Thank you guys for sitting in the hot seat this week.
Thank you.
All right, we'll bring you guys right back to the club after this short break.
Yeah, boy. Ew, what is that?
Tar, nickel, lead, and about 7,000 other chemicals that probably aren't good for me.
That smells disgusting.
Well, it doesn't taste much better.
Why do you drink it?
Well, I tried to stop, but I just couldn't.
That's gross.
For more information, follow Project Prevent on Facebook and Instagram at Project Prevent AR.
All right, welcome back, and thanks so much to Coach Haling and Britney Mahan for giving us some time in the hot seat there, and cross country doing such great work, and Britney leading the way, and we're so proud of her and all of our athletes here. Let's look at the upcoming schedule now to wrap up this episode of the club. Let's talk about our football games coming up.
Oh, football games coming up. Coming up for the Caveman, they will play up against Hebrew Springs, Riverview, and Lone Oak. 2 of those games will be home, and in which games you may ask? It's going to be Hebrew Springs and Riverview. Lone Oak will be an away game.
Yeah, that Riverview game especially. Fun game. Let's get a big crowd out for the second half of football season. Cross country's back on the road next week. They're going to the old Davidsonville State Park. That's a meet hosted by Sloan Hendricks. The junior boys will start that one at 4, and then the junior girls, senior boys, and senior girls will follow on a rolling start. And then the big match we're looking forward to is Tuesday, October 3rd, the 5th annual Caveman Open right here in Cave City on the field north of the high school gym. Races will start at 3:30. Junior girls go first, then junior boys, then senior girls and senior boys. Over 1,000 people are going to be here, maybe double that. Come out, support our cross country. Let's talk about golf. State tournament's coming.
Oh, golf. A golf boy and golf girl have qualified to the state meet, which will be their next competition. That girl goes by the name of Jessie Stauffer, and the boy goes by the name of Wyatt Edwards. Yes, they qualified for the golf state tournament, and so we wish those two the very best of luck. And the tournament competition will be taking place October 2nd in Glenwood, Arkansas. For Jessie and Wyatt to have this opportunity, I mean, this is something that they can't. This is something that just can't go away in just a year or a week.
Right. And it's a unique sport because with golf, it's just you.
It's just.
I mean, team sports are great because it's a team sport, but there's also that benefit of this is me and my club and my ball, and I've got to hit and execute. And that's one of the great things about golf. Tennis is starting to wind down their season. They're going to travel to Piggott on Monday the 25th. Their last home match will be Tuesday, September the 26th against Newport, and their district tournament will be on Monday, October the 2nd at Allen Park in Jonesboro, and that's an all-day affair starting at 9 a.m. Who've we got left here? Volleyball.
Oh, we got volleyball next. Volleyball is getting ready to close out their regular season. The upcoming games that we have in the upcoming weeks is we're going to have Hoxie, Newport, Piggott, and Manila for the remaining upcoming games for the Volleyball Cave women.
Yeah, and it's all about seeding with the post-tournament for them, so certainly they want to hit. And I think they got a match against Crowley's Ridge, too, in there, maybe Walnut Ridge. So you always want to beat the Ridges.
They do. They actually do.
That's right.
I missed
So
that.
a lot of games for them. That's cool. So our next episode is coming on Friday, October the 6th. Be right here on Facebook Live at 5:30 p.m. We'll have the Cave City volleyball team coach Kelsey Steed in the hot seat, and we invite you to join us then. So until the next time, thanks for being in the club today. I'm Philip Landers.
And I'm Ian Sanders.
And we will see you next time. Thanks for watching.